Hiya all my Ali Pallies, and thank you for joining me today. Now, I've had a few requests for swatch comparisons, and I did promise that I was going to do this video. So I have been busy swatching away for the last couple of days. As you probably know, if you've seen, I did a swatch video of Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks a while back, and it was over an hour long. Because I could probably count on one hand the amount of lipsticks I don't have of Charlotte Tilbury. It's quite obscene, really. But they do last a long time, and I do definitely rotate them. So, I have been swatching away. Now, one thing I've got to say, a lot of people reviewing these lipsticks are saying this is the same formula. But I'm going to stand by my first impression. I actually think these are a different formula lipstick, because just getting them off my hands when I'm doing swatches, they definitely feel like they last longer, and definitely again on my lips take more swiping but stay on the lips for longer. So I definitely feel that there are different formula to previous formulas. So I'm just a bit intrigued that no one else is saying that. But anyway, I'm sticking to my guns. That's what I feel. And I know a couple of you watching me have said that you agree with that. So let's move on. Now, in the meantime, I ordered 3 more refills. So there's only 2 that I don't have now, which is Viva La Vergara, and the other one is the Dance Floor Princess. But I've got all the others now, and I've got the lip conditioner. And I know some of you wanted to know about the lip conditioner. So stay tuned. I will be doing timestamps at the end again, because this is probably going to end up being a long video. But I'm going to go in as much depth as I can. And I will put the timestamps so that you can see which lipstick I'm comparing it to all the way through. And feel free to flick through at your leisure. Okay? So let's get going with this first lipstick. Okay, please excuse that my eyes have been streaming all day because of the pollen. First on in, we're going in with Allesandra. I always keep... Angel Allesandra. I thought it was Alessandro, but it's Allesandra. So apologies if I've mispronounced that before. So this is a very kind of light peach, but it is very unusual in that normally if I go for something that light peach, it doesn't look peach on my skin tone. It actually looks too nude and washes me out. But this one works on me. Now, Charlotte likens this on her website to Platinum Blonde, which I never got because I thought it looked too pale for me. So I looked in the other lipsticks that I have, and there was really nothing that came that close to it. The only one that came the closest, and I still wouldn't say it's the same, is Hepburn Honey, but that's got a lot more brown in it. So I'm just going to show you that one next to it there. So you can see it's not got as much peach in it at all. Now, I was asked to show if I had any dupes that were not Charlotte Tilbury. And I've had a look through, and the nearest non-Charlotte Tilbury dupe I could find was a Jouer lipstick. Is it Jouer? Yes. Called Creme Brûlée. Now, when I first put this on my hand, you're going to say it doesn't really look like it. But as it dries down, it does look it actually does look very similar. So that's Jouer Creme Brûlée. And this is a liquid lipstick by Jouer. So as it dries down, it looks more and more peach. And I'm just looking at it's called Lip Creme by Jouer in Creme Brûlée, and it comes in a container like that. As it dries down, it looks, I think you can see, it starts to look a bit more peach, but it's not quite as orange as Angel Allesandra. Okay, so Hepburn Honey, Angel Allesandra, and then Jouer Creme Brûlée. I will take a picture of all of those and I will leave it here. Okay, these aren't going to look the same at all, but just so that you can see side by side. So this is Allesandra. And then I'll show you Hepburn Honey the other side. I won't show you the other one on my lips. I'll just leave it at the hand swatch. Otherwise, we'll be here all day. So you can see there's a lot more. It's more kind of more nude and less sort of pigment in it. Okay, let's move on to the next lipstick. Okay, next on in we have Glowing Jen. I'm going to show you Glowing Jen. I've actually found a non-Charlotte Tilbury dupe that is really, really close to this. I'm not sure if you can still get it though, but I'm going to show it you. So that's Glowing Jen. Now, Charlotte likens this to Stoned Rose, which I've got here. I'm going to show you Stoned Rose, but I actually think it's closer to Supermodel, although Supermodel is Matte Revolution, and obviously this is a kissing formula. So that is Glowing Jen, and then here I'm going to put Stoned Rose, which as you can see has got a lot more kind of orangey, a lot less pink in it. And then I'm going to show you Supermodel. So Supermodel is here. Let me put Supermodel this side. I think you can see that is actually closer, although it's a matte formula, because it's got nearly the same amount of pink in it, but obviously it's a matte formula. Then another one that's pretty close is her Latex Love Lips in Berry Nude. So I'm going to put that one underneath here. It's a bit pinker, as you can see, than Glowing Jen, but it's quite close. Now, the one that I found that is non-Charlotte Tilbury, and I will look this up and put details below, this is almost identical, and it's a lipstick by Tarte. I got it in a set from QVC, and it's called Rosy Nude. So I'm going to see if it's still available, but this is almost identical. So I'm going to put this on the top there. Can you see that it's almost identical? So that is Tarte lipstick in Rosy Nude. Now the other one, the other non-Charlotte Tilbury dupe is, I was thinking about MAC. Now I've got Whirl, which isn't that close. It's too brown, as you can see. But I have a feeling, although I couldn't find it, that Twig is quite close to this as well. So if you look for Twig, I think you'll find that that's pretty close in MAC lipstick. I thought I had Twig, but I can't find it. So that might be one to look for if you want a non-Charlotte Tilbury dupe for Glowing Jen. So to recap, that's Glowing Jen. This one is Berry Nude Latex Love. Sorry, not the camera screen. This one here is Supermodel. Nearly forgot then. This one here is Stoned Rose, and this one here is the Tarte one in, what's it called? Rosy Nude. Okay, and I'm going to put a picture in between. Okay, I'm going to lip swatch you Glowing Gen next to Supermodel, which I think is the closest Charlotte Tilbury. Now with Supermodel, it's a matte revolution, but you can get round that if you want to give it a gloss by putting some clear lip gloss or collagen lip bath over the top. See, once they're on the lips, they really don't look that different. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Okay, the next one only arrived today, so I haven't had a chance to do too many swatch comparisons, but because I haven't also swatched this on my lips to show you, this is the lipstick and it's called In Love with Olivia, and I am totally in love with it. I think it's eclipsed my favourite Bitch Perfect. I'm just going to show it you on my lips. It is just stunning. Okay, now Charlotte compares this to Penelope Pink, which I think is crazy because I don't think it's anything like Penelope Pink. I'm just going to get you those other shade, the Penelope Pink, and show you what I think is the closest match. Okay, so there is In Love with Olivia, and here is Penelope Pink, which is what she likens it to, which nearly put me off buying this until I saw swatches, because that is almost too light for me. Now here is the conundrum. The one that is almost identical to it is my favourite up to now, Bitch Perfect. And the reason that it's a conundrum, I'm going to show it you here, is because she likens the next lipstick we're going to talk about to Bitch Perfect, and not this one. But I think you can see that they are very similar, which is probably why I like it so much. Now I'm going to put on In Love with Olivia on this side of my lips, and I'm going to put Bitch Perfect on this side of my lips, and let's see if we can see a difference. I think this has got more moisturising in it than Bitch Perfect. Excuse me, my eyes are so watery. Right. But let me just see. So here we go. In Love with Olivia. And Bitch Perfect. Slightly paler version. But I think you can see that they are very close. So if you like Bitch Perfect, but you want a slightly darker version, this is great. And that's why I think I always liked Bitch Perfect, but it was almost a little bit too fair for me. So that's why I love this one. It's overtaken Bitch Perfect as my favourite lipstick, and I only got it today, but I can honestly say I know that that's going to be my favourite. So that one is In Love with Olivia. Now, dupes. You want a dupe from another brand. So let me see if I can find you one. I'm not sure whether I can, but I'll try. Okay, the closest one I could find from my other lipsticks, although it's got a little bit more brown in it, is this one by Huda called Bombshell. And I'm just going to put that one over the top here so you can see that. So that is Bombshell, and that's a Huda Beauty liquid lipstick, liquid matte lipstick. I've got a little travel size of it. Okay, so I'll take a photo of those and I'll be right back. Right, I just had to come back on because I found another close one to In Love with Olivia. So this one is In Love with Olivia and this one is American Sweetheart. And actually it's closer to this one than the next one, which I thought it was going to be. So that's American Sweetheart. In Love with Olivia. I'm going to leave a swatch in between here. Okay, the next one is JK Magic. Now, actually, this is just a little bit fairer than the one we've just had. So they are quite similar, to be honest. So it's a paler version of In Love with Olivia, I would say. So excuse some of the swatches still on my hands. There we go. So that is JK Magic. And then Charlotte likens it, as I said, with Bitch Perfect. So I'm going to show you Bitch Perfect next to it. Which I suppose it is. I just think it's closer to the last one. But maybe not. They are quite close. And then the other one that I thought it looked like was American Sweetheart. But obviously this is a matte revolution shade. So can you see that's JK Magic. I think it looks quite like, not American Sweetheart. Oh, sorry. The other one. Oh, what's it called? English Beauty. I beg your pardon. So English Beauty is a lighter version of American Sweetheart, but it's matte revolution and it's slightly lighter. So I think it matches very much with JK Magic, but it's just a matte version. So again, if you covered that in a gloss, it would look quite similar. But again, I'm going to do a lip swatch of these two together so that you can see Bitch Perfect and JK Magic together. And I also, to be honest, I think the closest I'm going to get again is the Huda Beauty one that I've just mentioned in the last lot, because I can't think I've got any others that are, they're so close that I think that would be the closest that I have in other brands. Okay, so if you just check back, Huda Beauty. So what I would say is, if you like that, if you want a dupe that's not Charlotte Tilbury, go for that Huda Beauty lipstick that I've just mentioned, and just put a darker or a lighter lip liner underneath, depending on whether you want a dupe for JK Magic, which is lighter, and In Love with Olivia, which is slightly darker, and that would be the way to do it. Okay, Jack's coming, which hence the background noise. Okay, so next up we have Carinas Star. Now this was a difficult one for me to match to other lipsticks because I've got a lot of corals and a lot of orangey tones, but this is quite muted, so it's orangey, but it's got a kind of brown undertone to it. So when I buy oranges, I tend to go for either really bright oranges or peachy oranges. So this one is a kind of muted brownie orange. So let me just show you this on my hands. Okay. So now what Charlotte likens this one to is Coachella Coral. So let me show you Coachella Coral. which you will see. Now this is a kissing formula, and the Carinas Star is actually matte, but this is Coachella Coral. So you can see there's a bit more pink in that. It's more coral. This is more orangey brown. This is more coral. And then the one I thought it was closest to is Super Cindy, which I will put the other side here. I definitely think, but then it's still got more pink in it. So, but I think it's definitely closer to that than it is to Coachella Coral. Now, a lot of people wanted to know, a couple of people actually, how this one, because obviously it's a bit more of a muted orange, how it compares to Hot Emily. So I'm just going to show you Hot Emily, because that is quite an orange, as you know, kind of very bright orange. So there is Hot Emily. Now, if you wanted to recreate that and you've got Hot Emily, what you could do is put something like Pillow Talk lip liner underneath, and that would mute it down to make it more like that colour. Okay, but I'm going to do half of my lip with Carinas Star, and I'll do the other half with this one, which is Super Cindy. Okay, so let me just do this. So that's Carinas Star, and then I'm going to put next to it Super Cindy. Which, as you can see, is quite a bit lighter. Now I'm going to rub that off for a minute, because I have found one lipstick which, when I swatch, looks nothing like it at all, but on my lips I think it looks quite similar, but maybe not. I haven't put them next to one another, so let me just see. I'm going to put this on my lips and then I'll tell you what it is.
Really? 10 miles? You're already inside the atmosphere?
Yes, it is. So it's interesting because there is Carinas Star, but when I swatch it next to it, you'll see it doesn't really look anything like it, but actually on the lips it does. And this lipstick is one I got a while ago because I'm obsessed with peachy lipsticks, and it's called Passionate Peach, and it's by Elizabeth Arden, and it's a lip gloss. A sort of glossy lipstick, and it's called Beautiful Colour Bold Liquid Lipstick in Passionate Peach. So if you want something similar, and obviously it's not matte, it's shiny, then go for that if you want a non-Tilbury dupe. All right, so I'm just going to take a photo of those and we'll move on to the next one.
I guess that's okay.
Okay, next on in we have Amazing Amal, which I've just swatched there. And the one that Charlotte likens it to is Love Liberty. Now, actually, I couldn't find any other lipstick that came close to this other than Love Liberty, which is there. So it is pretty close. It's slightly darker. It's got slightly more purple. Okay, and I'll swatch those together. Now, the non-Charlotte Tilbury dupe, the nearest I could find, was a lipstick by MAC called Plumful, which is not actually a matte revolution. It's not a matte lipstick. It's more of a, I think this is a cream sheen. No, it's a luster lipstick. So I'm just going to swatch that underneath so that you can see that, but you can see that they're quite similar. It's got perhaps again a little bit more purple in it, but quite near to it. Okay, so I will take a photo of those and then I will lip swatch these two Charlotte Tilbury ones together. Right, so here is Amazing Amal.
When does a monkey have a trunk?
When a suitcase just won't do.
Alright. It would appear as if alcohol is playing keep away with your intelligence. Good night. Please note it is now past 10 p.m.
So that's Amazing Amal. And then the other side I will put on Love Liberty.
Celebratory gunfire.
Okay. Explain something to me. You watched Leonard put up with that guy for years and years. What has to break inside your brain for you to think, oh, Krishna, I've got to get me some of that?
So you can see it's slightly darker and it's got more purple in it.
What? Oh, God, yeah.
Okay, moving on to the next one. Okay, so next on in we have Red Hot Susan, which I got today. Now this is a kind of orangey red, but with a brown undertone to it, so it's a bit muted. Now Charlotte likens this to Carinas Love, which I don't have. Okay, so I can't compare it to that. But I do have, the closest one that I found to this is Love Bite, which again is not a matte revolution, it's a kissing lipstick. So that's Love Bite, but as you can see that's a little bit brighter and it's got less brown in it. Okay, but that was the closest Charlotte Tilbury one. Now in terms of other dupes, the closest one I found was MAC powder lipstick. Is it called Powder Kiss lipstick in Style Shocked, which is here, but again that's a little bit brighter. Okay, so I'm just going to put the pictures here and then I'm going to lip swatch the two Charlotte Tilbury ones together for you. Okay, so here is Red Hot Susan. And here is Love Bite. And there's Jack. So you can see this one has got more orange in it. This one's got a bit more red in it and it's also a kissing formula. Okay, moving on to the next one. We're nearly done. Okay, moving on to Patsy Red. Now, it says it's red, but there is quite a bit of a pink undertone to this. So it's not a true red, which makes it quite difficult to match to a classic red. Now, Charlotte likens this to Tell Laura. And I need to get Tell Laura because it looks nothing like Tell Laura. Okay, here's Tell Laura. So I have no idea why. That's so much more orange. This is a pink red. Now, I looked. The closest shades I could find to this in Charlotte Tilbury are Electric Poppy, which is actually obviously more pink. But you can see, I would say it's closer to that than it is to that. Or Red Carpet Red, which is more of a blue red. I'm going to put Red Carpet Red at the bottom here. Now, Red Carpet Red is quite similar to MAC's Ruby Woo. So, I would say if you're looking for a dupe, then to go for MAC's Ruby Woo. But those are the different shades. So I'm going to put Red Carpet Red next to Patsy Red so that you can see those two together. Okay, so Patsy Red is going on this side.
Was Chad sitting there the whole time?
He's got food.
I like scary stories. Spooky stories. Please, Mr. From the Comic Shop, don't do something. To tell this tale, I must first set the mood.
And then Red Carpet Red on the other side.
Just a little lower. Oops, wrong way. There. That is sufficiently spooky enough. Stop that. Okay, Milo's spooky secret is he sees dead people. What? Oops, sorry, I dropped my phone. I warned you.
As you can see, it's darker and this one's a bit more muted. Okay, so, but that would be the closest one. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this. I'm going to finish off by telling you my thoughts on the lip conditioner. And then that will be it. Okay, so last up, I want to talk about this Enigmatic Edward, which is a clear lip gloss. Now, the first thing to say is it doesn't have the vanilla scent that you find in the other lipsticks, or the vanilla taste. You know, sometimes like you can't tell whether you smell something or whether you can taste it. Now this definitely, it doesn't have a smell, but when I put it on my lips, there is a bit of a taste of oil. It's not unpleasant. The nearest thing I can think of is olive oil, a very faint taste of olive oil, but it's incredibly moisturizing. Now I've only had it today, but when I put this on my lips, it really, I'm a bit of a lip chewer, which is a really bad habit. I sit there and do this when I'm concentrating. So my lips do tend to get very dry and sort of loose skin sitting on them. This is just a beautiful primer. I'm going to put some on. So that is my lips before, and I'll do a close-up shot and take a picture. Okay, so now I'm going to put this lip conditioner on. Now, I think you can see that it has made a difference. I'm going to do another picture and I'll put them side by side. So first impressions is, I think, you know, as a refill, as I said before, I wouldn't buy this as a full in the case for that price for a clear lip conditioner. But as a refill, I think it's very good. It's got some very good ingredients in it. It's got sunflower, it's got sodium hyaluronate, it's got shea butter, it's got castor seed oil, it's got vitamin E. It's got some really good ingredients, and it does sink into the lips quite quickly. So you can still feel they're moisturised, but they don't feel really greasy, ready for you to put your lipstick on top. So I'm going to take my favourite one of the day, my new one, In Love with Olivia, and I'm now going to put this on top. And I think you'll see that it leaves a lovely, extra lovely glossy finish to the lips.
makes his own homemade costume. This feature is an important component. Of course, we know turning on instant kill mode creates scary red beady eyes, but Peter's peepers can convey other things as well. Of course, there are some potential hidden in the eyeballs.
I'm going to be trying this out with a variety of different lipsticks over the next few days, and I will update you on this, but I'm basically happy that I got it. I can't think of much more to say at this stage because obviously it's only the first day that I've got it, but I definitely think it's very moisturizing and it leaves your lips looking really healthy and pouty. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. Any questions about dupes or anything else, please leave your comments below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for watching, take care and have a lovely day. Bye bye.